From Storm Tracker 6, this is your Forecast First. Sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Mid-Michigan is digging out from under a thick blanket of snow tonight, and there's more on the way. We have team coverage for you tonight with Jorma Duran, Alicia Bergio, and Madeline Odell live in Lansing, and Aaron Dimmick is in Jackson. And of course, our Storm Tracker 6 weather team as well. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lauren Thompson here with Chief Meteorologist David Young in our Weather Center, and there's no question we've gotten a lot of snow today. So What is the latest?
This is our biggest snow so far this winter season. Look at the radar. We're not done just yet, at least for southern mid-Michigan. Jackson down towards Hillsdale, still seeing some moderate to occasionally heavy snowfall. It'll continue there for a while longer, so we're going to tack on some accumulations there. There's the view right now. Live conditions in downtown Hillsdale where the snow as visibility is reduced. And the folks out trying to get those streets clear, but it's still coming down fast and furious across our southern areas. Snowfall total 7 for Mason, Lansing 6 inches, although we added a little bit since that report. 7.5 in Eaton Rapids, Jackson. This was taken earlier this afternoon, 5, so we've added to that. Close to 7 inches in Hazlet. As we look at the evening forecast, this just takes us to a little bit past midnight, 1 a.m. or so. Another 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches from Jackson south. Less than a trace for most other areas. But Lauren, there is more snow in the forecast tomorrow, and a bigger system returns on Sunday. We'll look at that coming up.
Yeah, it definitely is more snow than we've seen
in quite a while.
All right, thanks, David. Well, Sherry, let's send it back to you on the desk.
All right, thanks, guys. Our storm coverage continues now with a look at the current driving conditions in Lansing. We're going to check in with Alicia Bergio. What's the latest, Alicia?
Sherry, you're taking a live look at Howard Street right outside our station. As you can see, the roads are covered in snow and slush, which has caused slick conditions all throughout the day. As we zoom in a little closer to US 127, you can see traffic is moving pretty slow right now, and it was even worse a few hours ago when the snow was coming down quite heavy. Now, this is what it looked like a couple of hours ago. Our crew was on scene after a 5-car accident closed both the north and southbound lanes of US 127. We have a call into Lansing Township Police who are on scene to find out if anyone was hurt. Now, this is just one of many accidents in this area. Reports of slide-offs have come in all across mid-Michigan today because of the nonstop snowfall. So if you have to head out on the roads tonight, drive slowly and take your time. Now, I'm not the only one who's braving the cold tonight. Jorma Duran has been covering the storm all day. He's here for you now with a look at how local officials are preparing for the storm.
Yeah, I've been in my travels today. I caught up with the Lansing Emergency Management Chief Michael Tobin. He says he's been preparing for this storm all week, and he promises me that his team is ready. Tobin tells me his #1 concern is life safety, and then traffic and road conditions come next. But he also says he and his team, that includes first responders like fire crews and EMTs, along with plowers and other city officials, are fully staffed and prepared. Plus, he doesn't see himself doing anything other than keeping track of this storm and managing crews until the very end.
Watching a lot of the radar, road conditions, plows, accidents, tracking emergency services, tracking operational services for the city, discussions with the mayor, discussion with the executive team, command staff, you name it, this is now my wheelhouse.
Law enforcement are, of course, out in full force when it storms like this, and Madeline Odell joins me right now live, and she had an opportunity to be with Ingham County Sheriff Wigglesworth. How'd the day turn out?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it was very eye-opening just how many people were going fast on the highway today. And in fact, when we were in the squad car, a Jeep was going so fast behind us that it tried to brake, spun out of control, and went into the ditch right behind our car. Yeah. And so that's why Sheriff Wigglesworth only has one piece of advice to share with drivers.
Are you driving a little bit too fast?
Take it slow. Those are 3 words Ingham County Sheriff Scott Wigglesworth could not stress enough when it comes to driving in the snow.
So the biggest thing that people aren't doing today is slowing down. I think they can drive same or similar speeds in this kind of conditions, and I've seen 1,000 cars today driving way too fast.
And it's that speed,
just cruising,
that makes scenes like this one.
Okay, you okay?
And this one so common.
The gal that spun out behind us was a perfect example of driving way too fast, coming up over the hill. She panics when she sees me, hammers the brakes, ends up in the ditch. Good, go, go, go!
Thank you! It also makes being out in the roads dangerous for everyone.
Look at the semi coming by us. He's going at least 60 miles an hour. He hits us coming up over that hill, it's a wrap. We're done.
Including the officers coming to the rescue.
I mean, sometimes just being on a simple car in the ditch is the scariest thing we do in a day in these conditions.
But it's a risk they take to make sure others stay safe out in the roadways. In talking to MSP and Sheriff's Wigglesworth today, between the two agencies, they've responded to at least 40 calls because of accidents and slide-offs related to the snow. Here for you in Lansing, Madeline Odell, 6 News.
Thank you very much for that team coverage. Well, the winter weather is also canceling flights and causing delays at airports across mid-Michigan.
Yeah, clearing runways of snow and ice is a challenge for airports big and small.
Our Jackson Bureau reporter, Aaron Dimmick, is live at the Jackson County Airport. Aaron, what's happening there?
Well, Lauren, Sherry, as you can see, the snow continues to fly here in Jackson, but what is not flying is planes here at the Jackson County Airport. Right now, crews are busy clearing snow and ice from the runway to make sure it's safe for takeoffs and landings. Even though this is a small airport, they have a responsibility to stay open. When you add up all the runways, the Jackson County Airport has over 80 acres of pavement that has to be cleared every time the snow flies.
We have all the challenges here at this smaller airport that big airports face.
Crews can only use sand because salt will rust airplanes. Airport manager Kent Maurer says they have to make sure they clear every bit of snow from the runway.
You can't leave ridges across the center of the opposite runway, or the crossing runway. So we do a lot of backing up and do what we call back plowing, because it is a very unique thing to plow runways and taxiways. It's an art and a science.
When there's a snow event like this, crews often clear snow all day just to keep up. It's a slow day for the airport, which mostly serves corporate and private aircraft, but planes are hitting the skies. Maurer says it's important for them to stay open even during a snowstorm in case there's an emergency in the air or on the ground.
We don't ever know, and so we do the best that we can to keep the runway in the best condition we can with the staff that we have and the equipment that we have.
The airport manager tells me as long as the snow is falling, crews will be out here on the runway, making sure it's safe for travel. Here for you live at the Jackson County Airport, Aaron Dimmick, 6 News.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Well, speaking of flights, there have been a lot of cancellations today.
Yes, and we're going to send it back over to David Young in the Weather Center for a check of our flight tracker. David?
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. There certainly have been a lot coming in today, but nothing like it could have been, and in fact, more major hubs. This was a fairly narrow area of a significant snowfall. Let's take a look at it. Meteorologist Eric Kostreva has been out and about this afternoon. He joins us right now on 127. Eric, how are the roads out there?
Hey, David. Over the last hour or so, been on the highways and also the main roads in both Jackson and Ingham counties. The main roads still very snow-covered, very slushy and very slick. Out on US 127, both northbound and southbound, the conditions were getting worse the further south that I went. So as I made my way into Jackson County, actually one of the lanes on US 127 was completely snow-covered, and that was slowing things down. But the good news is, many people that have been on the roads have been keeping it slow, and as I make my way back into Ingham County, things are doing just fine out on the roadways right now, as the snow was stopping just a few hours ago. Here for you in Lansing, Eric Kostreva, 6 News.
All right, thanks for that, Eric. We appreciate that. This was a time lapse. This was my drive in today. I wanted to kind of track the road conditions. Secondary roads, as expected, were snow covered. Be careful of that. Make sure you scrape off the back of your car so you can get those tail lights visible. That can certainly cause some problems. But the road crews have been doing an amazing job today. I was really surprised, given how heavy some of the snow was, to see as many lanes clear as we did. As I was getting a little closer to the station, however, despite the fact we're getting those lanes clear, it still is slick out there. There's one of the spinouts that I saw this afternoon as I was making my way into the station. So we check out the satellite and radar today. Still some snow for our southern counties. counties that's ongoing out there. There's Eric's shot again. There's the view from our WLNS tower cam. We've got still some flurries ongoing, but nothing terribly heavy. So we look at precision casts tonight through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. I still think there could be some light snow and or snow showers, if not in the morning, then at some point during the afternoon hours, we'll see a few of those light snow showers making their way across. Light accumulations for our Saturday, however. Now, as we move from Saturday into Sunday, a stronger system is going to take shape to our southwest. So by Sunday morning, as you're trying to head out, it's more widespread snow. Maybe a little period of moderate snow mixed in there as well. Not as heavy as what we saw today, but it will certainly add to the accumulations. As we move into Sunday evening, it begins to move out by 4 o'clock or so. And then Sunday night, of course, we see rapidly improving conditions. So we look at the snowfall forecast. Now, keep in mind there's an inch or so in here in our southeastern counties from what's out there right now. So kind of factor that out in your head. But we're generally thinking 1 to 2, maybe as much as 3 or 4 inches from Saturday into Sunday. So that's 2 days worth of snowfall combined. But when you tack that onto the 6 to 7, 8 inches we saw today, some areas will certainly be in the double-digit range for a 3-day snowfall total. Temperatures out this afternoon are sitting in the lower 20s. It is cold outside. For tonight, we'll see readings down to 13 degrees as the snow begins to exit even our southern counties. For tomorrow, the forecast temperatures not all that warm, lower 20s, and a chance for a little period of light snow or snow showers tomorrow. Maybe someone will see an inch, inch and a half out of that. On the 6-day forecast, good chance of snow on Sunday, 1 to maybe as much as 4 inches depending on where you are. Upper 20s for highs Monday. By Valentine's Day, upper 30s for highs. Chance for some rain showers next week as we are well above the freezing mark, and then we'll see mid-20s for highs, returning with a few snow showers next Friday. A quick check of traffic tracker this afternoon. It is all quiet out there now. The big accident that was near the Fowlerville area has been cleared up. We've got normal, well, not normal, but slower traffic because of some of the snow and slushy conditions on some of the roadways, but things are improving. Primarily just because folks are staying off the road now and letting the road crews get out there and take care, especially those major interstates first, and they'll get the secondary roads, of course, later on tonight and tomorrow before we have a little bit more work to do on Sunday.
It's like everything we missed out on in January, we just caught up with.
We got it all in about a day.
Yes, we did. All right, David, thanks for that. Coming up next on 6 News, we have several updates in connection with the Larry Nassar scandal, including a firing at Michigan State University. The details on that and much more when we return. Thanks for watching 6 News.
Well, disgraced former MSU and USA Gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar is now in federal custody.
He's been transferred from the county jails where he's been staying to a federal prison just south of Ann Arbor. 54-year-old Nassar, who is now prisoner number 21504-040, will stay there until officials decide where he'll serve his full sentence of 60 years, which he received after pleading guilty to child pornography charges. If he lives through that sentence, he'll be sent back to the Michigan prison system to serve 40 to 175 years for sexually assaulting women and girls under the guise of medical treatment.
And as the fallout from the Nassar scandal continues, Michigan State University says it will fire the former dean of its osteopathic medicine college, William Strample, and will not cover his legal expenses as he's being sued by several of Nassar's victims. Also, Suresh Mukherjee, the chairman of the Department of Radiology and chief medical officer of the MSU health team, has been suspended. Strample and Mukherjee were interviewed by a campus detective and an FBI agent last March as part of an investigation into restrictions that were supposed to have been put on Nassar after a 2014 Title IX probe.
And Michigan State University says it's turning over 45,000 pages of material to a special independent counsel investigating if the school mishandled sexual assault allegations against former Dr. Nassar. University officials sent a letter to investigators today, which is the deadline that was set by the state attorney general's office. Last week, special agents from the AG's office seized records from the university when they executed a search warrant.
Well, Fred's up next with sports on this snowy Friday.
And you know, he doesn't have a lot of high school basketball to talk about tonight, though, do you, Fred?
No, I was wrong. David was right. I said no snow or very little snow. David said lots. That's why he's paid to do the forecast. So all local games wiped out tonight, but plenty to talk about. And with Judd Heathcote being honored tomorrow afternoon, an old friend of Judd's and friend of Tom Izzo's arrived in town today for the festivities. We'll hear more from legendary former Purdue coach Gene Cady up next in sports and only on 6.
This is 6 Sports.
All right, the snow took care of our high school basketball plans tonight. I find no local teams playing any games in our viewing area this evening. And if you are playing tonight, we're not going to make it. So good night to stay in, folks. We will have a 5th quarter show at 11:15, a full show because it's a big weekend with plenty to talk about. By the way, a lot of makeup games in the next few weeks due to tonight's postponement. And a lot of them are in the future weeks, but one we know of from tomorrow night, Okemos and Holt boys and girls will actually play Saturday night, 5:30 for the girls, 7 o'clock for the boys. Okemos and Holt, a rematch of an earlier meeting this year. All right, a whole lot of MSU basketball history and past legends in our town this weekend. Here for the Judd Heathcote tribute at halftime tomorrow of the Purdue-Michigan State game. That game tips off at 4 o'clock. Judd had many friends in coaching, none better than his longtime on-court adversary and off-court close friend Gene Cady. The legendary former Purdue coach was a guest speaker today at the weekly Rebounders Club luncheon, and Cady, now 81 years old, he stayed in touch with Judd right until the end of his life. Tom Izzo was there today as well. Cady's 81 years old now, and Cady, a close friend with Izzo too, Judd's longtime assistant.
He's a guy that stayed close, and I think he respected the fact that Judd and I were buddies, and Bruce Weber's the same way at Kansas State now. So, yeah, it's kind of been a special relationship between assistants and head coaches.
Tomorrow, what's your involvement? Are you speaking, or do you know yet?
Oh, no. I stay out of the coaching. I just want to watch the game.
You're just here in presence.
I'm lucky to be here today.
It's nice to be on this side of the ground.
Exactly.
He looks well. Good to see him. As for the players in the game tomorrow, we asked them if they're trying to win one for the coach and for his coach.
This is a big game. There's no way around it. It's a big game for them, big game for us. So, that energy, that pop is going to be there. They're going to be huge, just them having our support, them having our back. We know everything's not going to go all smooth. Everything's not going to be peaches and roses, but, if they have that energy, we bring that energy, we can play through anything.
Every game closing down to the end of the season is extra for us because what we've been through, like you said, the type of game it is for Coach Heathcote, so everything is going to be a little extra for us.
Big night in college hockey tonight. Michigan and Michigan State, 7 o'clock face-off at Munn Ice Arena. If you're going, be careful driving and walking, but the game is on. The two rivals have met 3 times this season. Michigan has won 2 of the 3, including in the Great Lakes tournament last month. And this one tonight is in East Lansing, tomorrow in Detroit. Big one for everybody, of course.
It's Michigan week, and I think we've had 3 pretty good games against them. They've been exciting and competitive, and I think building off of what we've been doing, we've been playing pretty well. We had a nice win on the road at Ohio State, and I think we'd like to keep moving on and getting better.
Well, does Michigan and the rivalry mean anything to you yet?
Yeah, I think I got a little taste of it last year, and obviously so far this year we've been okay against them, but I think just being here all the time, playing against them, seeing the crowds, it's infectious. It's hard to not be a part of.
And Spartan defenseman Mitch Elliott signed an OHL contract today. He's leaving the Michigan State team. Speaking of leaving, there's running back Madre London. He becomes the 7th Spartan football player to announce he's transferring. He got limited time as a running back this past season after starting his career with a bang, but he slowed down. All right, that's sports. We'll have much more at 11:15 on a jam-packed 5th quarter, even without the games, all right?
We know you'd fill the time, Fred. No problem.
Stay with us. David's back after the break. He's got a final look at your weekend forecast.
Ooh, that looks... But still treacherous out there as the temperatures drop even.
Right, even the main roads with those temperatures dropping tonight in the lower teens, you'll get some black ice here and there. Secondary roads till they get plowed and treated, obviously going to be very slow. Mid-20s for highs tomorrow. Maybe an inch or so of accumulation if you get a couple snow showers and or a little bit of light snow, but the better chance is Sunday morning, 1, 2, maybe as much as 4 inches of additional accumulation on top of what we've already got. Mid-20s for highs. We won't melt any snow Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we melt some snow. Upper 30s for highs for Valentine's Day. Good travel weather if you're going to head out of the town. Some rain showers, not snow showers. Rain showers next Thursday. We'll really melt some snow then. upper 30s for highs there, and it stays mild through the end of next week. Overall, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. We got a 40-degree high. So we're getting closer and closer to March.
You know what? Sunday is supposed to be the polar plunge in the city of Lansing.
Yeah, that's not looking too bad.
It'll be nice and festive for us.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like
you won't be any colder in the water than you will standing outside.
Did I tell you I'm plunging this year?
No way.
Not.
I didn't think so.
I'm judging. Can you imagine that?
Oh, I'm plunging.
Have a good night.